Sports in the smokers lounge. Hey, that my people big June. Turn your prayers around. Roll a little something, something. Man, them other podcasts, man, they tell you nothing. Luciano with the pitch, about to strike something. Switch sports, hit the ring, about to fight something. Different court, 23, call me Mike something. When the Lord, she a player. Winner and the bookie gon' pay her. Quicker, all my people gon' spray her. Tell them to take the shot. You ain't gotta check the sports section of the paper. And you ain't on the cash, you a hater. And the show flavor.
Big June in the smokers lounge. Shout out to Brooklyn too. B.I.G. baby. Going big, man. Welcome. How y'all doing, man? It's your boy Big June here with another episode of the Smokers Lounge, man. Sports discussion becomes sports debate and so on, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, follow, share. You know, I got some interesting things I want to get off my chest as far as, this early NBA season, man, and talk a little about my Knicks and all that, man. Shout out to Golden State for handling the business last night. Barclays, Steph Curry putting on the show and all that, man. You know, it is what it is, man. Speaking of Golden State, they back. However you want to look at it, they're back. They're 12-2, playing great ball, and can become even more dangerous when Klay Thompson returns from his injury. Splash Brothers back in effect. Your man Curry's been on a mission ever since, his sidekick been sidelined. But make no mistake about it, man. Golden State is back, man. And one of the few early surprises in the season, man. Who else? Chicago. What about the Chicago Bulls? I mean, you got to give them the due. 12-2 right now. Excuse me. 10-3. 10-4. The Wizards, Washington, playing phenomenal ball right now. Them Laker castovers. Kuzma, Harrell, KCP, getting it done, man. Can they sustain it throughout the course of the season? That's another debate. But as of right now, they're playing great ball. Make no mistake about that. In fact, Washington is #1 in the Eastern Conference, followed by the Chicago Bulls. And shout out to the Bulls, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, worked out all the kinks with his shooting form. Numbers speak for themselves. He's getting it done. Caruso bringing that championship pedigree, that playoff veteran. And, some people said that it'll take a while. That maybe DeRozan shouldn't have had signed over there. It was a bad signing. That it wouldn't compliment Zach LaVine and Vujicic. I know. It's early in the season. I know. But you still, you got to marvel at what they accomplished so far. You feel me? 10-4. Washington with Spencer Dinwiddie and all them. It is what it is, man. That's the beauty of the game. Because you never know what team could rise up. Now you got some of these teams like Milwaukee, the defending champions, Atlanta Hawks. Both of them right now currently sit out of the playoff equation, including the play-in situation. Both under 500. So it is what it is. In the West, Phoenix Suns are trying to prove that, last year wasn't a fluke. That they are the best team in the Western Conference Finals. And they're proving it right now. They're getting it done. 10-3 with all the drama swirling around them with the owner. But they're still doing it on the hard court where it counts. Shout out to Devin Booker, Chris Paul and them. Doing what they do, man. It is what it is, man. Now, the West is always stacked. So you could pick a team, and any season some team will rise up. Could it be Dallas this year? Right now, they got off to a good, strong start. Luka and KP. Porzingis looking like the unicorn again. Can Dallas sustain that throughout the course of the season and compete for a high seeding come playoff time? Because, you're going to have to deal with the Clippers. They're playing shot 9-5 right now without Kawhi Leonard. Shout out to Paul George and them for getting it done and competing. You got the Utah Jazz, They always in the mix with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. So it still is a lot of strong teams out there in the West, man. That, can the Lakers overcome these early injuries and struggles to claim one of them top spots so they don't have to face a play-in situation? Because right now, as we speak, currently, the play-ins would be in the West, would be the Lakers, Memphis, Portland, and Sacramento. As far as the East goes, it'll be Boston, Toronto, 76ers, and I can't remember the last team. But, again, it's still early in the season. Right now, currently, my New York Knicks sit at 8-6. But we have a lot of problems, man. It's a lot of problems, and your boy Big June, man, just want to get this off his chest as far as, being a Knicks fan. We're 8-6. Obviously, our defense took a hit. When Reggie Bullock and Alfred Payton went on elsewhere. We knew it was going to take a hit. We signed Kemba Walker strictly for the offensive side of it, right? Evan Fournier, I wasn't too thrilled about the signing. A lot of people say he got overpaid, but you have to do that when you're a bad team. And trying to prove that last season, wasn't a fluke. But look at the hit defensively our backcourt has taken. Now, we all know Tom Thibodeau is stubborn and stuck in his ways and his coaching philosophies, right? So, where does the help come defensively? I mean, these guys are not going to learn how to play defense overnight. You cannot continue to overuse Derrick Rose and burn them out, and the season's not even halfway. So, if you're the New York Knicks general manager, Leon Rose, what do? Do you come down and say, listen, it's time for you to play them young boys? It's time for you to give McBride and Grimes some burn? I mean, they did get drafted in the first round. They did ball out in Summer League. That kid McBride, tenacious defense. Grimes could stroke that three. I'm pretty sure, I guarantee you that they're going to bring that energy to the court. But again, Tom Thibodeau might not feel that way. So, does he give IQ more minutes at both guard positions? Positions? What does he do? What does Tom Thibodeau do? There's no trade in the future. There ain't no free agent signing. It's time for him to go with the in-house candidates he has, right? I mean, unless you're gonna let Kevin Knox get some minutes. Because think about it like this. Not only do you preserve Derrick Rose, but you're also preserving Kemba Walker. Because you both got to be handled delicately, right? Both prone to injury. We all saw Derrick Rose run out of steam in the playoffs. That can't happen again. And Tom Thibodeau has a history of running his plays, giving them extensive minutes. That's another thing. With all this extensive minutes going on, right? Shouldn't Obi Toppin getting some more minutes? I understand Taj Gibson from the Chicago Bulls to the Timberwolves, trustworthy leader on and off the court. I get it. But this basketball game is a young man's sport. The NBA is filtered with young talent. Shout out to all my smokers, man. Roll up, man. Blaze that, man. Listen to your boy talking shit. But again, NBA is filtered with young talent. Right? We drafted these kids in the first round. You have to see what you have in them. Give them quality playing minutes. Not in garbage time. How will we know what we have with these two individuals? Yes, they did their thing in the Summer League. But again, the Summer League and the NBA competition is a whole different level. A whole different ballgame. One thing, regardless, that was not addressed, the lack of a playmaker. at the point guard position. I love Kemba Walker since his Connecticut Husky days. I do. But he's not a playmaker. He'll look for his own shot and create a shot for himself before he does for his teammates. You know, Derrick Rose, he accumulates assists during the course of the game, but they're not they're not full of impact. They don't change the course of the game. You feel me? So the lack of playmaking, once again, will doom us in the playoffs. Unless a trade comes during the deadline. Whatever the case might be. You know, a lot of people already predicted the Knicks to not even make the playoffs. And if they did, they would be fighting in through the play-in situation. It is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yes, right now we're currently 8-6. Yes, we did smother Indiana and played tremendous good defense, obviously. We held them to under 100 points. Can we sustain that type of defensive play through the entirety of the season? Your boy Big June right now, I'm going to keep it real. I don't think so. I really don't. You know, born, love the Knicks. Love them. You know, shout out to Brooklyn, that's the hometown. But I'm always going to be a New York Knick. That's always going to be the home team. And, you know, they're not at the level of the Brooklyn Nets or the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. You know, slowly but surely, we're working our way. We're proving that last year was not a fluke. So now, you know, you're looking for big things for RJ Barrett. So far, you know, it's night and day. You know, one minute he's balling, the next minute he's falling. You know, this ISO ball with Julius Randle, it's not successful. The blueprint was already out. He's been exposed. He was exposed in the Atlanta Hawk series. The film is out on you, Julius Randle. Keep your head up while you're spinning. While you're making all these spins and turns, you're not paying attention to what's going on as far as the defense collapsing on you. Right? The ISO ball is not working. The lack of playmaking is starting to show. Where do we go from here? If it was up to me, your boy Big June here on Smokers Lounge Podcast, I'm giving them young boys some burn. I mean, it can't get any worse than the starting backcourt. Right now, there's no cohesionness or no harmony as far as rotation with the starting group. The second group is playing better than the first group. The bench is succeeding. Yes, they played last season together and the continuity, yeah, but a lot of them have. You also throw in an equation about, you know, Mitchell Robinson missing a big chunk of last season. 2 new starters. Basically, bringing back Mitch Robinson into the fold. Yeah, I get it. I understand all that. I do. But if you want to continue to be a playoff team and taken serious, moving forward, right now is the time when you face a certain these teams like that game against Charlotte. We started off hot. We couldn't miss. We ended up, we couldn't hit in a shot in the ocean. No playmaking. Everybody wants to take one shot. No ball passing. No ball movement. That's not a winning formula. That's not how the Knicks played and succeeded last season. Yeah, I understand Reggie Bullock isn't there. Peyton isn't there. I mentioned that, yes, the defense took a hit with them moving on. Of course, that was expected. But the defense shouldn't be that bad the way it is now. Like, we can't stop somebody at the 3-point line. I'm trying to figure it out too. So I'm like at a loss of words. I understand what's going on. But again, Tom Thibodeau needs to open up a little bit more. Yes, he's going 10 deep. But due to the players and some of the players we have on this roster, he should be going a little deeper. It's still early in the season. You get to keep Derrick Rose fresh and Kemba Walker fresh, Mitchell Robinson fresh for the stretch run. As well as Taj Gibson. You feel me? And Noel when he comes back. So you got to find a combination, a winning combination, while still infusing some young talent on the court. You see Obi Toppin, he's progressing. He's made leaps and bounds in his game. He deserves more minutes. IQ, he deserves more minutes on both guard positions. You know, these kids are working. I understand your philosophy, you know, your stubbornness when it comes to that game. But look around the NBA. There's nothing but young talent filtered all around it. Pick a team. Nothing but young talent. Yes, some of them are bad. And with a lot of rebounds, so they have no choice but to play them. I get it. But being the fact that, you know, we don't have a true playmaker, a true point guard. Our starting point guard is vulnerable to injury. Our backup point guard is suspect to injury. Shouldn't McBride, Quigley, Grimes, and to an extent Kevin Knox be getting some minutes? I mean, there's no reason why Thibodeau should burn them down, and we're not even half point of the season. We're not even halfway of the season. You feel me? You know, I just think I'm just might be dwelling, might be the weed, might be something, man. Might be what I saw something in the game, you know, not the Indiana game, but the Charlotte game. The red flags are there. But we also had time to fix and correct things, those issues that are going on with the defense right now. And I'm not saying the Knicks can't go on a run, because they obviously could run a table, do 10-game winning streak like they did last season. That's possible. Of course it is. But it's also possible for us to continue to lose and to have a seesaw season and be barely over or barely under 500, having to fight through the play-in for a playoff spot. Those are all the scenarios that's in the air. Again, Leon Rose might pull a blockbuster at the deadline. Who knows? Either way, we're going to find out. Us as Knicks fans, we're going to find out. And, you know, again, it's early in the season. A lot of teams are struggling. The Lakers, the Hawks, the Bucks. You know, some of these teams are missing their key stars. And during the course of the season, teams will get healthy. Teams will make runs. Hopefully be one of your teams, your favorite team, making that run. If you're a Laker fan, a Buck fan, a Hawk fan, etc. And, you know, for the teams with the drama, the Kyrie in Brooklyn, you know, Kyrie in Brooklyn, Ben Simmons in Philly, ownership in Phoenix, you know, the injury bug in Los Angeles, both teams. Eventually, everything will find its course. And as far as the Knicks, hopefully the defense gets us together. They start gelling. The unit turns into more cohesiveness. The offense moves more fluidly. And, you know, Evan Fournier gets more accelerated into the game plan and starts stroking it like he did last season for Orlando and Boston when he was traded, right? And Kemba Walker avoids injury and continues to play and ball out the way he has these last couple of games. You know, those are a lot of ifs. But again, you know, it's early in the season, so you never know. What I do know is your boy Big June is working. I'm grinding hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to hit these shows. And you know, please subscribe, follow, share, like. There's a lot of things going on in the sports world. Everything and anything associated with the sports world, the good, the bad, the ugly. Here on this platform, the Smokers Lunch Podcast, we're going to talk about that. Your boy Big June's going to touch on Aaron Hernandez real soon. Touch on Derek Jeter, the captain, the Hall of Famer. Hit you a little bit Major League Baseball news, what's going on in the offseason, the possible strike, all that is at play right now. You know, the NFL season, you know, you see what's going on with the Vegas Raiders, and, you know, it's a lot of mess going on. Shout out to Odell. I know you ain't get the opening you wanted, the grand entrance you wanted as far as your Ram debut, but it is what it is. And, you know, again, everything and anything associated with the sports world, we're going to touch on this platform, man. It is what it is. It's your boy Big Juice, Smokers Lunch Podcast, man. I'm out of here. All my family and friends in New York, man. Stay sharp, stay safe, stay blessed, man. And before I leave, man, shout out to Walmart, man, for hearing the customers' complaint, man. You feel me? I told them there was too many Tupac shirts there, man. Where B.I.G. at, man? It is, B. Walmart came through. And so is your boy Big Juice for Smokers Lunch Podcast, man. I'm out of here, man.